Okay,
Woo!
one day, I'm gonna get that right. Like, I'm gonna get it right on cue.
Listen, I was dancing to it. I was like,
Yeah, I saw. Hey guys,
Because
so what?
Because when we're in the middle of the live stream, when you play it, it's like all skippy. But when I go back and I watch the replay, I can actually watch it.
Well, yeah. If you ever want me to just send you the clip alone, I have it saved. I can send it to you that way you can watch it because I have it on my. I have it on my Instagram feed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
well,
she
no,
tagged us in it. And she tagged us in it.
no, on my TikTok when I have the thing across the banner, so you can't really. Anyway, so
What's up,
hey guys, we're doing, as if y'all can tell by the title, we're doing Heathers this week. It's been a while since I think it's been a little bit longer than I intended it to be, but you know, school and all that fun jazz. Anyway, so one word to describe this production. Go.
It was something.
One word.
Something. It was
something.
Okay, I don't know.
I would say
Suicide.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd say I'd honestly say morbid in a way. I got like, I don't know, like, yeah, it was weird. If y'all ever seen the Heathers movie, it's kind of like that, but I'm not gonna lie, I prefer the movie than the musical. Hey Zoe. But yeah, so for those who do not know what Heathers is, I'm not gonna lie, I don't even really know what it is. All I know is that it involved a chick named Veronica and 3 girls named Heather, and like the Queen Bees, kind of like Mean Girls a little bit, but in beyond ye olden days, because it takes place in like what I think or late 1900s. I don't know.
Let me check. I'll look it up.
Yeah. So
it's either like the 80s or not 90s, like 80s. I think it's in
probably
the 80s.
like what she said.
80s.
But it was based on the 1989 film.
Okay. So Veronica meets this guy named JD. And yeah, it I'm not gonna lie, I did not think this was gonna be as dark and morbid as it was. But I guess we'll just jump right into Act 1.
Although I do, because I have seen the movie. I haven't watched it recently and everything, but
I haven't seen the movie. I didn't know it was a movie actually.
You did?
Oh yeah.
I think okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I could swear Winona Ryder is in it. Is she? No.
Yes.
Yes. She plays Veronica, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm very impressed that I knew that because I know her from Beetlejuice.
And Christian Slater is JD, I believe.
I don't know who that is. But
if you don't recognize his face, you normally recognize his voice. He has like a very he has a voice when I hear it. I'm like, oh, I know who that is.
Like Alan Rickman.
Yeah, the movie came out in 1988.
Dang. Oh, so I wasn't alive yet. But
I
anyway,
wasn't even noticed yet.
So we're gonna.
I don't even thought of.
We'll start with the opening number, "Beautiful," which basically
something.
Yeah, it takes a while for it to get good. Like I kept getting like zoning out through Act 1. But I mean, the only song I paid attention to in Act 1 was "Candy Girl" because that's the only song I knew from this show.
Same. And it's sad that we knew that from TikTok.
Yeah. What? Oh no! I'm just gonna say, like, morning I spent like 2.5 hours watching this one chick's TikTok because it's really funny. She's really funny. Anyway, not the point. The point is, that's how me and Christina know it. Is TikTok. Thanks, Eli. No, Eli's the one, and y'all met Eli from Addams Family. He's the one who made me download TikTok, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't regret it. But whatever. Anyway, so Veronica saves the Heathers from getting in trouble by forging a hall pass, which, let's be real, who hasn't forged? Some adults, I can tell you with complete honesty and without a guilty conscience, I have forged my dad's signature in elementary school on my speech homework.
Elementary school?
Yeah, because I had to get his signature to get a prize for doing my speech homework because I was in speech. Because I couldn't pronounce my L's, R's, or
I was
S's.
in speech too. Yeah.
And his signature just looks like zigzag lines, and so that's what I did, and it worked every time. And so eventually, my mom's signature was too hard to forge, but my dad's was really easy. So
hopefully your school teachers are not watching this right now from elementary school.
They are. What can they do about it? I mean, come on, let's be real.
I'm just
I also like, I don't know elementary school no more. Can't do nothing now.
I can say this, and I'm sorry, Senorita Howard, but I cheated on my Spanish exam because they gave us MacBooks, and that's what the exam was on. And so me and this other student, who I will not say their name, we were put into another class because we were the only seniors, and so we had to take our exam early. We literally ended up translating the entire exam on Google Translate. And I ended up getting like a 98 on the exam, and she was very impressed. She's like, "You must have studied really hard." I was like, yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, the only thing I remember is, "Hello, how are you? I'm good. You too." And I know how to say, "Can I go to the bathroom?" That's all I remember from Spanish class.
That would be the only thing for a language if you're learning. Can I use the bathroom?
Yeah, I got my high school diploma, so I can tell you, like, I cheated on a majority of my exams senior year. So.
Wait, question, Michelle. Liz. In high school, did you, since you have a learning disability also, did you also use Read 180?
What now? Read
180, it's Scholastics. It's kind of new, but it came out in like 2010.
Probably. I have a copy of my IEP, which is funny when I go back and read it. The kind of stuff that they wrote, like I'll have to read some of it for y'all in the green room. It's funny. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can totally understand that, and I can see why.
When I was 2.
So I was a very messed up kid. I was like, one perfect example is, which kind of goes into Heather's, is they asked me to draw a picture and make a story, and so it was a story about this girl named Amber who did not have any friends, and she wanted to kill herself. And because she was miserable and everybody was mean to her, and she devilishly planned the murder of her classmates. And I made it up on the top of my head and then this was like when I was 7 or 8, and so it concerned my parents. With that, and also I used to decapitate my Barbie dolls because I didn't like that. Yeah, okay. The best way to describe how I was as a kid was I was a creepy little Wednesday Addams. That's like the best way to describe me.
You look like a little Wednesday too.
Oh,
in a good way.
Yeah.
I know you for 2 years now.
Anyway, so
about the drawing you were talking about. So all my life have been in ESE classes and everything. I was in regular classes also, but you know,
I do too, Zoe.
Seriously.
Oh no, I was responding to Zoe because I have autism too, so I am on the high active.
Oh wait,
spectrum.
You do have autism?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm on the I am on the spectrum. I'm on the high active part, which plays into my ADHD and a whole bunch of other disorders that I'd really rather not go into because we'd be here all night. But yeah. So anyway, enough. Yeah, go ahead.
Into the drawings and everything. So because I was in ESE classes, for English, I was in ESE classes for like English and math and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so when I first moved up to this area that I live now, when I first moved here, to this day, I do not like her. She helped me learn to read and everything, but I just did not like her. Like this one time, Huh?
You didn't like who?
My English teacher in 8th grade.
Oh, okay.
And so what we had to do was we were trying to see how fast we could, and correctly say a paragraph or something in a minute. And I was so focusing on trying to get all the words and everything, like I didn't care about how I was saying it. I was just trying to like beat the time because I'm looking at the clock. And I was getting very frustrated and this and that. And the teacher was like, Michelle, like, was like, Michelle, calm down. And she got me to the point where I was in tears. So, like, all my classmates are behind me, and she's making me cry like crazy. And I'm just so upset. And then she's like, oh, okay, enough of the pep talk. Let's get back to work. And I'm like, you're making me cry?
No, I can.
And you're
I can
pulling
beat
a
that.
pep talk?
I can understand
Anyway.
that.
So
No.
later that day, I went into my history class, which wasn't ESE, but in the ESE program, what you could do is if you were having trouble studying or whatever, you could go into a ESE room and they could help you with your homework and, and whatever lessons you were having trouble with. But that wasn't happening this day. Anyways, so I'm in my history class, and what we had to do was make a totem pole. And we had to make drawings and everything. And everyone is, making their drawings, making up their story. And I'm just sitting there staring at this totem pole thinking, I can't think of anything to draw. Like, I'm just like so upset about this one teacher. I couldn't think of anything else. Finally, I drew these pictures, like describing, I was like, well, that's it. I'll just draw that because it's the only thing going on in my mind right now. So I drew, a picture of me, the teacher, and like I always kind of visualize myself as being like a slow learner and everything. So I drew like a turtle to symbolize me being slow and this and that, and like a rainstorm and everything, basically representing my anger and frustration with this teacher of making me feel this way. And so I went up to my history teacher and I presented this to them, and they were just like, that is so creative. Like, out of everybody in this class, no one came up with a really good story like that. And they were like, oh, so who was this teacher that was making you feel this way? I was like, I ain't gonna tell you, because then it's gonna make my life even worse.
Okay, I'm just gonna cut in real quick. Kyle texted me and he said, Heathers equal suicide is cool, LOL. That's why I was laughing so hard. And it's not.
Bad.
It's not, y'all.
No.
It's not.
Not.
Having a cousin that committed suicide, that's really messed up.
Yeah, so that's even though
Sorry.
it is I don't know, I shows you how kind of messed up I am that I laughed at that, but yeah, anyway, so okay, we got way off topic. That's probably because of me. But yeah.
All of us. We blame all of us.
Yeah.
And the teacher, and to finish it off, when we had to do the parent-teacher conference, so there's all my teachers.
Okay,
with my parents.
This is story. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm sorry.
It's almost done.
Okay.
So it's parent-teacher conference. There's my teachers. There's my grandparents and everything. And all of a sudden, my history teachers mentioned about the thing about the totem pole, and they actually pull it out. And of course, that teacher who made me upset was in the room. So that's how she found out about it and everything. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry I made you feel that way. And, try to work things out and everything, Still she helped me to learn, but still she did it in an unconventional way that just made me hate her and just want to cry. Okay, done with story.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know how we got onto that topic, but whatever. But yeah, so we've all had teachers.
About the drawing, and then made me think of my drawing. Okay.
Well, yeah. What made me remind me of mine was because of the whole suicidal aspect. But anyway, we're gonna move on to that. So, yeah. Okay. So with beautiful, Veronica gets in with the in crowd, and she gets a whole makeover, which I'm okay with being your friend, but you're not going to give me a home makeover because I am one of the most tomboyish kind of people you'll ever meet.
Yeah, that's
just
definitely true.
Let me be me.
Yeah, but
why should I change myself to be popular?
Yeah, well, what the heck is like. They don't. They're with them. It's like Mean Girls. Image is everything.
Yeah, it's basically just the Mean Girls. So no one really died in Mean Girls. You know what I mean?
Quack.
Yeah.
What? To quote Daphne Blake, image is everything. It's not, really. It's not. And if anybody can tell me what movie that is from, obviously it's Scooby-Doo. If you guys can tell me what Scooby-Doo movie that is from, I will, I don't know, I'll give you a shout
Wait,
out.
what was the quote? What was the quote?
Image is everything.
Wait, you broke up. What?
Image is
Oh.
everything.
Images everything.
Yeah,
Let me
without
guess.
looking it up. Anyway, while Christina tries to figure that out, we're gonna move on to Candy Store, which again is the only song that me and Christina know from TikTok. But basically Veronica threatens to stop the Heathers with whatever it is they're doing. I don't remember what they were doing, but it was obviously something bad. And then they threatened to ruin her social life. But let's be real. Back then, ruining someone's social life is probably the worst thing that you can do because word travels and all that. Like nowadays, you can do so much worse, which is even scarier. But
I figured it out because I watch Scooby-Doo movies all the time.
Why does a duck have tail feathers? I don't know, because it's a duck, because it's a, well, I don't know.
Duck?
But
okay, so anyway, I figured it out because I watch Scooby-Doo movies, the first and the second one all the time, and it's the second one.
Do you know which part of the second one?
I watched it during Halloween time, like when it was not on free form.
It is Taylor, who I go to school with, can tell you she loves, like, you have never met anybody who knows Scooby-Doo more than she does.
Yeah, my dad grew up with watching Scooby-Doo.
But Taylor, if you're watching this, please correct me if I'm wrong. But it is in the beginning when they're at the Monster Museum thing, and she's like, "Guys, remember what I told you?" And then Scooby's like, "Images, whatever." And so she's like, "Yes, images, everything." And then obviously, all hell breaks loose. But anyway, so I think Candy Store was probably one of the most catchy songs in Act 1. That is just my opinion. As Christina,
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
So what the Heathers were doing is they had Veronica forge a letter from the guy Ram to her friend
that's right.
Martha and everything, basically being like, "Hey, come to my party. Hey, I like you," and everything. And basically when she gets there to the party, reveals like, "Hey, he didn't write the note, this was all a joke."
Yeah, but I'm just thankful I didn't have anybody like that in school. But that's a
not in high school. Not in high school.
No, okay. So here's the thing. I would rather staple my tongue to a wall than go through high school again. High school was miserable.
I think everyone would agree with that.
I did not like my freshman year of high school.
It wasn't bad until my sophomore year when I got outed, and then the last 2 years were awful. I got outed at a pep rally, so everyone who I did not, and I hadn't even come to the conclusion of myself, but he had said some snide comment about me having a crush on my friend, which I did, but I was not ready to admit to that. And
you were so young.
Yeah, I mean, and also when you're in high school, you're still trying to figure out what you want to do with your life. You're not.
Yeah, you're a kid still.
You're supposed to experiment and do all that kind of stuff in college, not in high school.
Yeah.
And also, when you go to a homophobic high school like I do, in a very cliquey high school, I love how my cheekbone looks. Sorry. You tend to try not to stand out, which is and I feel like if I had known Kyle in high school, it would have been a lot easier and a lot better. But yeah, it was. I can't remember what he said. He had said, like something like, "Oh, I'm glad I got you before Elizabeth Ziska did," and she looked confused, and he's like, "Oh, because she's a lesbian," and something like that. I don't know. He said something like that's like snide and stuff like that, and so why is what's on my sock? Sorry, I just pulled like a loose thread, and now my whole sock's coming undone. But all I remember is like everyone looking at me, and I just sat there in like shock, trying to process what had happened. And I didn't realize what had happened until the next day when everyone was being mean to me. And yeah, it was my teachers became my best friend, which I am a-okay with because I got special treatment.
But I was definitely a teacher's pet.
I also got a lot of the time I got the meanest teachers that love me. Like teachers who people like, "Oh, I hate her. She's so mean." They were always nice to me because I did my work and I participated in class. So, but yeah, anyway,
the only thing I liked about high school that I kind of miss about high school was drama club.
I didn't I didn't get involved with theater until my senior year.
Really?
I had to take a tech theater class for either that or a dance class. So I took tech theater, and I feel like if I had gotten involved with theater sooner, I probably would have more friends. The only reason why I was friends with some of the popular girls was because we did track together in middle school, and so they knew that I wasn't a freak. They knew I was not right, but I had my challenges, and they still hung out with me because they knew that I didn't have a lot of friends. And so when we got to high school, they were nice to me and all that. That's the only reason. Everyone else was just awful to me. So, oh well, that's life. But also that's what got me into the whole not bully. Anything I could tie bullying into, I did a project on. I did so many projects on bullying. It was bad because I guess it was like my cry for help, I guess you can say.
Did any of your high schools in 2012, 2011, 2012, or did you guys, because it was all over the U.S., the Under Armour Challenge, because my school won. Do you remember that, the Under Armour Challenge?
Sounds familiar. Y'all remember Rachel's challenge?
No.
About it had to do with the Columbine shooting? Do y'all not know about that?
No.
It sounds familiar.
Okay,
it sounds familiar.
Okay, so quick lesson on the Rachel's challenge. Rachel was a young girl who unfortunately was a victim in the Columbine shooting. Two guys went into the school and just shot it all up. A good amount of students died. And she got shot in the back, and the bullet went through her notebook, and it turned, and on the back of her dresser was like a tear with an eye with tears, and then from the ground was like a rose. And so her parents made this whole challenge about raising awareness about this kind of stuff, about being kind to one another, because like apparently these two kids were being treated awfully, and so she because of her parents spawned this entire thing, and I don't know if they do it anymore, but they came to my high school, and oh my god, I was in tears after the assembly. But it's a great cause. The whole look be sure to look up Rachel's challenge because it's a great cause.
Here, can I show you the web? Can I show you guys? Can I share my screen real quick?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. And then we gotta get back on topic.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Share. Click. Share. It's coming. Don't worry.
Like, I am so glad that this did not happen when I was in high school, but like a year after I graduated, I found out that there was actually there had been a shooting at my high school a year after I graduated.
Can you guys hear this?
No.
All right, hold on. I'll take my headset off.
To my knowledge, no one got majorly hurt. But I had heard about there was a shooting at my high school a year after I graduated, and I was just like, I couldn't imagine going through that.
Your mic isn't connected, it says. Okay, well, how about I'll put the link to the video down below so everyone can go and check it out, because to see all of Christina's work. So you might want to go ahead and put your headphones back in because I think that's the only way it works. But there are a lot of programs out there that raise awareness about this kind of stuff because you never know when somebody's going to snap. That's the thing with this kind of stuff with bullying and all that. You never know when someone's close to snapping or one comment's going to set them off. But I'm like looking at my notes. Hang on. And so the next song is Dead Girl Walking, which Veronica stands up to Heather Chandler, who, by the way, just sounds like an awful name. It sounds like you're a basic bitch. That sounds awful.
Yeah.
But, Christina, you good?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, there we go. Oh, there she goes. And then she throws up. Okay, so little fun little party. She stands up to Heather Chandler. She throws up on Heather Chandler, and then she loses her virginity to JD. And if you don't know what virginity is, I am not having that conversation with y'all tonight. You can ask your parents. But what happens at Disney stays at Disney is how I see it. But Veronica wants to leave the Heathers, and she's like, well, I want out. And then she's like, no, you can't get out of our what's what I'm looking for? Clan, or no. What is it? What's the word I'm looking for? It's like clan.
Click.
Coven? No, cult. You
Cult,
can't get
okay.
out. You can't get out of the Heather cult. Once you join our cult, you can't leave. And that's probably a bad word to use, but that's basically what she's saying. Like, you can't leave. If you do, I'll do this, this, and this. She's your basic bully, basically. And then which leads
What?
to.
So in the Dead Girl Walking, I would have to be very comfortable with whoever I was performing with to do that. I mean, they're basically having to kiss and like hump on stage in front of all these people. I was like, whoa.
That and the extent of clothes being removed. I know, like, that's how something at Winthrop, when we have a production that requires a kind of scene like that. I know some directors have the actors do like the body limit exercises. Like, you take your scene partner, you take their hand, you put their hand everywhere on your body that you're comfortable with them touching. It's so that you understand each other's limits. And because those kind of scenes are tricky to are tricky to do in film and in theater. I know, like, a great example for a film is with the 100, when Alexa and Clark have their little lovely intimate moment. They had to keep reshooting because they kept laughing. Of course, in theater, you can't do that. You can't laugh, or else you're gonna ruin the whole scene. But I give them props for being able to do it. I give anybody props to be able to do those kind of scenes, because I don't know if I honestly would be able to. I would have to be very comfortable with the person. I would have to trust them completely. Like, with Kyle, I probably could do something like that with Kyle, because he's like my best friend, and I trust him. But
you both would like have understanding, like, oh, it's just for performance. It's nothing sexual.
Yeah, and also because he knows how, like, I have no experience with being intimate with anybody. The most I've ever done is make out with somebody. So that's another thing, is know each other's limits and what. So with those kind of scenes, I give anybody who's able to do that, I give them props. Yeah. So
I've actually been in a student play where we were making the play ourselves, and they told me, they were like, oh, well, because they wanted to do more groundbreaking stuff in drama and everything. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to do stuff that we had kind of been limited on. And when we were making this, they were like, oh, well, Michelle, you're playing this one character and everything. We think this one character and this other character should kiss. And I'm like, thinking in my head, I got to be the one to do that. Mm-hmm. Me and this one person had to kiss.
See, I feel like for me...
Thankfully, we came to the decision that the characters didn't need to kiss. It didn't make sense for them to kiss, so we ended up not having to kiss.
Yeah, I feel like it's harder to initiate the kiss than to receive it, because it has to look believable. And also, like, because emotional scenes like that are very hard to do. And I hate to go off topic again, but it has to do with like a very intense scene. The best example I have, if you guys have seen Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. There is a scene with Bellatrix and Hermione where Bellatrix is torturing Hermione and carving mudblood into her arm. And I had watched an interview with Helen Bonham Carter and Emma Watson, two totally different interviews, but they had mentioned that scene. And Emma had talked about how she was extremely scared to do this scene because it was a very, like, she had to be like completely broken. And so, like, the day of the filming, she went to Helena and she went to the director and she's like, hey, I'm feeling so nervous about filming this and I don't know if I'll be able to do it, and or like do it more than once. And Helena understood. And so they ended up setting up multiple camera angles. So all they had to do was do it once. And so she laid down on the ground. Helena climbed on top of her. I remember Helena saying like, oh, I asked her, "Are you ready?" And Emma's like, "No, I'm not." And so they went on ahead and did it. And after they called cut, it took Emma like a good 10 to 15 minutes to stop crying. And as soon as as soon as they yelled cut, Helena got up off of her and helped her up and just like embraced her and helped her calm down. But like those kind of scenes in theater or in film, I applaud anybody who's able to get to that raw emotion. When I had my coaching thing with Casey, one of the monologues I ran with her was a very emotional one, and I made myself cry. And she had said, I know professional actors who struggle with crying on command. So the fact that I can do that is something that I need to make sure I stay in touch with. But yeah. So anyway, I love how we went from the Veronica losing her virginity.
What song were you talking about? Because when I
we're on Dead Go Walking, how filming a sex scene on stage can be very uncomfortable and very tricky to do.
And another example of that is in the last song with Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth.
I never saw that.
Anyways, there's a scene when they're when they're on a beach together and they're kissing. That was not in the script. The day of, the director pulled Miley Cyrus aside and said, "When you go to do the scene, I want you to kiss him," but didn't tell Liam that she was going to do it.
See,
no one told him. And she was so nervous about performing the scene because she didn't want him to think that she was coming on to him, that she was actually, like, the director was actually the one telling her to do this.
Yeah.
And they had a little laugh about it afterwards.
Yeah. But anyway, so back to we are going way off topic. This is why we need Tyler to keep us on topic. The next we have is Me. Okay, and the name of this song just sounds so wrong. I would have worded it completely different, but it's called Me Inside of Me. That is not a good name for a song, especially with right after an intimate scene. Basically, Miss Fleming starts a school-wide campaign to prevent suicide awareness, which again can tie into several things, whether people take it seriously or not. But I don't really think my school ever, other than the Rachel's Challenge thing, I don't think my school ever did awareness for that kind of stuff. Ours was mainly drugs because we had a lot of people bring drugs on. We had so many drugs. We would have a drug search at my high school every other week. It was bad.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, it was I hated it because none of us could do anything. We were stuck in the classrooms. And we also had a bomb threat one day, and that was awful. But yeah,
someone got murdered in a house by our school, but we didn't get locked down. We had no idea until mid-afternoon.
The best,
it was across the street.
Probably the biggest thing that happened with news-wise at my school was one of our one of our teachers got arrested for having a relationship with 2 male students. And
what?
I guarantee you, if you go on Google and you search Clover High School broomstick, I'm not even gonna go into that. But I'm just gonna say it involved a poor student and the football team, and the football team wasn't even punished. That, to my knowledge, they were put into detention and whatnot. But they did some inappropriate actions with the broomstick and that poor student, and so that shows you how messed up my high school was. I'm sure it's better now, but I think it was probably just my class. But yeah, so the joys of high school.
What year did you graduate?
2015.
Oh, okay.
And
I didn't know if you wanted to say it.
No, I don't care. I graduated 2015, and I went to York Tech, and I took a year. I went to college for 2 years. I took a year off to go to Disney, and then I'm back here. And so hopefully I'll be able to graduate by next spring. Which means I have to
you went to a different school after you came back from Disney.
Yeah, I got all my core classes done at York Tech. But anyway, so. Anybody have anything to say about those last 2 songs before we go to the finale of Act 1?
So basically, in the the me inside of me, basically that is the part where Veronica and JD basically are writing Heather Chandler's suicide or fake suicide note.
Mm-hmm. And then our love is God. So this song is going to be a little touch and go because I try to avoid religion on my channel because we all have same thing with politics. We all have our own beliefs, and I respect that. And so I personally do not believe in God. That is just my opinion. If you believe in God, good for you. I'm gonna leave it at that. Anyway, so JD shoots Ram. Veronica realizes Ram is really dead and the bullets are real. And then JD shoots Kirk in cold blood. And if you don't know what cold blood means, it means you show no remorse and no sympathy for your actions. So, which I think is a kind of an explosive way. Yeah, no joke intended. Because of what happens in Act 2.
Because they basically wanted to kill them because Kurt and Ram basically they made up a lie that they had sex with Veronica, which they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, these guys were just jerks.
Yeah, and so it doesn't end well. And quite frankly,
Not for the joke, anyways.
the whole not showing sympathy or mercy is a very clear sign of a psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
And I know my psychopaths and sociopaths. If you guys do not know the difference, basically, I'm about to sound like a complete freak that I know this. Basically, a psychopath has no conscience. They don't care. They're not gonna feel bad about doing whatever it is they do to you. A sociopath has a conscience, and they'll feel bad about what they're doing, but they'll still do it. You have, in my opinion, you have a better chance of surviving an encounter with a sociopath than with a psychopath. Because with a sociopath, you can appeal to the conscience. I know way too much about that kind of stuff. But anyway, so I feel like I feel like if he didn't die, he probably could have grown into a psychopath because he was having way too much fun doing all this stuff. Way too much fun. But
because Veronica's just like, okay, we killed 3 people. I'm done. We need to stop this. No more killing. And he's like,
no, we gotta keep going. He was really down to keep this up.
mm-hmm.
But overall, I like that they because in the movie, obviously they don't have Act 1 and Act 2 in the movie, but with the production, I feel like that was a good way to end Act 1, because it ended on a high note. But yeah, so you guys have anything to say about that before we continue on to Act 2? Go on once.
It's just like twice. A messed up story, you know what I mean?
It is. It really is. If y'all have seen the movie,
I'm still confused about it. When I was watching, I'm like, I'm lost.
Like
it was so slow for me. I was just like,
yeah,
it was good, and then I was just like, okay.
So Michelle, I got a question for you. Was this slower than Antigone?
I enjoyed this a lot more than Antigone. I could not wait to get through. I kept on wanting to fall asleep. Mm-hmm. I'm like forcing myself to stay awake.
But I still give you credit.
I liked this because I had seen the movie, so I was like I was remembering scenes from the movie. I'm like, oh, this plays along very well to it and everything.
I didn't know it was a movie. Someone should have told me it was a movie, and then I would probably be very interested.
I think it was the scene in the movie from when they're all in lockdown, and one of them is like, oh, I have a gun in my locker for some reason. I don't know why, but Michelle, you probably know what scene I'm talking about. They're all in the library and they have to sneak Veronica back into the library because that scene popped into my head while I was watching it. And I was like, oh, okay. But
I shouldn't even be part of this thing because I don't know what you guys seen the movie and I haven't. And I'm just
no, I haven't seen the movie. I saw there's a YouTuber I watch. His his name's Dylan is in trouble, and he did a video of him watching Heathers, and so I watched that. So I saw bits and pieces of Heathers. I've never seen the complete movie all the way
Okay.
through. Same thing
So
with
I'm the only
Beetlejuice.
one who's actually seen the movie.
Yep.
She should be saying all this stuff. She should be.
Well, to be fair, I'll probably go back and oh my gosh, I still need to watch Moonstruck. Oh, I got so much hate on that because one of my friends, who we were gonna do a podcast with him tonight, but that didn't happen. He was on my last podcast. He was one of our guests. We did a podcast on his, and we were gonna do like a very famous people who were in very discreet movies, and I was supposed to do Cher, and he was doing Tom Hanks. And I did Moonstruck as one of her discreet movies, but everybody apparently knows Moonstruck. And so I have not seen Moonstruck. And so he's like, you call yourself a Cher fan when you have not seen Moonstruck. I'm like, I'm sorry. I can't find it.
What? Wasn't Moonstruck like wasn't that like her first movie?
Yeah, it was her first movie. She was nominated for Hang on. I got this. Ooh, I just dropped my notebook. Hold on. That's my monologue book. Where is my other one? Oh, here it is. It was. Hold on. I have like 2 pages of notes on Cher in here. Okay. No. Silkwood was her very first movie, and she was nominated for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. Moonstruck, she won Best Leading Actress for, and then she was in Burlesque, which is on Hulu, and I cannot wait to go and watch it. She was.
You haven't seen Burlesque yet?
No, I have. I saw it years ago, but I haven't seen it since. But
okay.
I'm kind of happy she did not win this award because she was nominated for a Razzie. And if you guys don't know what Razzies are, they are like the opposite of these award-winning things. You don't want to win a Razzie. It's a bad award. But she was nominated for Worst Supporting Actress. And then she was nominated for Top Soundtrack Album for Burlesque, which I'm not gonna lie. I was skipping through the movie and I clicked at a random spot, and the one part of the movie I land on is when she sings "You haven't seen the last of me," and I'm just like, I'm done. That song makes me cry so much. But yeah. But anyway, back on topic. Into Act 2, they open with my dead gay son, which is a very cheerful way of how to start an act. But both Kirk and Ram's father finally accept that their sons were gay.
And they start making out themselves.
Yeah, and I'm like, y'all a little too late to accept your kid's sexuality. They're already dead. So that's not good at all.
I kept on getting confused with all that. I kept on being like, so you're accepting that your sons are gay, or you think that your sons are gay and everything. So were you guys secretly gay this whole entire time? Because you guys are like majorly working.
Oh, if that's the case, then they are hypocrite. I was about to say hippogriffs. Hypocrite. They were a big beaked feathered creature. No. They're hypocrites, if that is the case, if I am understanding the definition of hypocrite. I keep wanting to say hippogriff. But then we go to 17, which Veronica's like, I've had enough. I want a normal life, JD. She's like begging him to stop in hopes that they can have just like a happily ever after. Let's be real.
Like, I love you, but
yeah,
I don't want to kill for you.
I'm not gonna lie, when this part happened, it reminded me of Killing Eve, which is a very good show. If you guys have not watched it, I highly recommend it. It's a very good show. It has Sandra Oh from Grey's Anatomy in it, and I'm not gonna.
That's like the only thing that like makes me want. That's the only thing about it that makes me curious to watch it is because of the lady from Grey's Anatomy.
In my opinion, and I am not hating on Grey's Anatomy at all. But actually, I am a little bit because it needs to end. It's been going on for 18 seasons, I think. It needs to end. But
they keep they keep on saying, "Oh, this is gonna be the last season. This is gonna be the last season."
I feel like once
it ended already.
Once Ellen Pompey, whatever, however you say her last name, once she leaves, it's gonna fall apart because she plays Meredith Grey, which is why it's called Grey's Anatomy. But
yeah,
I honestly think Sandra Oh does such a better job in Killing Eve than she does in Grey's Anatomy. Granted, they're two totally different characters, but you get to see more of how Sandra Oh plays her characters differently and how, like, what she's able to do as an actress, which is amazing because she hit almost every emotion you can possibly imagine in this for the first 2 seasons of this show. But with 17,
so before this show and everything, before Killing Eve and everything, and seeing her on Grey's Anatomy, the only thing I'd ever seen her in was in Princess Diaries, and I was like, so she's the Princess Diaries. She played the principal.
She played Principal Gupta. Because she says I remember her answering the phone saying Gupta.
Oh yeah.
The Queen is coming. Yeah. But I feel like that's what a lot of kids of our generation know her from is Princess Diaries. But because it reminded me, because like not Eve. Oh my gosh, Villanelle, who is played by Jodie Campbell, I think it's Jodie, and her last name starts with a C. But I've never seen her before. I have no idea what she was in before this, but she does a great job of playing a psychopath. But like by the end of one of the seasons, I'm not gonna say which one, she doesn't want to do this anymore. She's bored of killing people. She just wants to have a normal life, which is kind of surprising because she is a psychopath. But that's what reminded me when doing 17. I was like, oh, okay. Which Killing Eve's gonna end one of two ways. Either Eve and Villanelle are gonna live happily ever after and have a normal life, or Villanelle is gonna turn Eve into a psychopath. It's gonna end one of two ways. But yeah, that just popped in my head during 17. Anybody else have anything to say about 17 before we move on?
How many more songs do we have?
3, and then we're done.
Oh.
And because next is Meant to Be Yours, which is, I guess, kind of like a love song. It sounds like a love song, but it's not, because you see Veronica hanging by a noose. No, she's not in The Princess Bride. She's crazy. Sandra Oh is not in Princess Bride. She's in The Princess Diaries. The Princess Bride is like Buttercup and My Name is Ingida Montoya. You killed my father, prepare to die. Yeah. So Princess Bride happened way before Princess Diaries, like way before. That's an old movie.
We were so young watching Princess Diaries. When was it, 2001?
Princess Diaries. I didn't like the first one until I saw the second one, and then
I didn't like the second one. I liked the first one.
They're making the third movie.
I loved both of them, but I like it was what the second one was one of those movies where it's just like,
do they have to make a second one?
No, it was like I was so excited they made a second one. It was one of those rare times where I somewhat kind of like the second one more than the first one. Most of the time, I like the originals better.
Let's be real. For me, that's what introduced me to Raven-Symoné, was she was in The Princess Diaries too. But also the only 2 scenes I remember is her walking in the street and have Breakaway playing when she takes all the orphans walk, and seeing freaking what's her name? Oh my god, what is her name?
The Queen?
Seeing Miss Queen Julie Andrews going mattress surfing down that giant...
yeah, that part.
I'm like, you go, Julie Andrews, but did y'all know they're making a third one?
With the same cast?
The books are a trilogy. There are 3 Princess Diaries.
Oh, there's a book? Oh yeah, there was a book, because I had a book.
I didn't even know there was a book.
Yeah,
I forgot I did have a book.
But it is in production. Like they are writing it. It is happening, and both Julie Andrews and Anne Hathaway are like, I'm coming back for it. We're done. And so is Lily. I think her name was Lily.
Oh, Lily.
Was it Lily?
Yeah.
Those 3 are coming back, and I mean, come on, you have to.
Please be good. Don't ruin Princess Diaries for me. Don't ruin it.
Let's be real. Let's be real. And I hate to bring up Hunger Games, but trilogies usually don't end very well. But yeah, so they are making a third one.
Never-ending story.
Yep.
I like the first one.
Hopefully it ends they do a good job. But I think Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews are actually having a hand in writing it. So because Anne Hathaway has read the books, and I think a majority of the writers have read the books. Unlike with Percy Jackson, where the writers did not read the books and they went completely blind, which is why the movie sucked. But anyway, but yeah, so Meant to Be Yours, Veronica hangs herself. And JD completes his plan in her memory. But okay, I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, if I ever die, don't go killing people in name of my memory. I don't want to be known as the girl who made some guy go kill a whole bunch of people. If I'm murdered, the only person who's gonna die is the guy who killed me at the hand of Kyle, because I know Kyle will kill whoever. If anybody tried to kill me, he would kill them. But anyway, I would hope, because he's like my best friend. But anyway, I think JD overreacts to Veronica's death, in my opinion. But yeah.
Mhm.
So anyone else before we move on?
I'm just getting tired.
It's kind of a dry play, but
Yeah.
the Dead Girl Walking reprise, we find out Veronica fakes her death and uses a croquet mallet to end JD, which it doesn't, because obviously he's the one, I think he's the one who sings "I Am Damaged," and he begs Veronica to give him the bomb, and he tells her to do something good with her life before he dies, and the bomb goes off, and JD dies while everyone else lives. Basically, is how the show ends, and everyone's just like, oh, let's all forgive Veronica for everything that she's done, forgiving a murderer because she did kill the other people, even though she didn't blow up the school. But yeah,
there was one thing that I didn't hear. I don't know if you guys heard it, but I didn't hear it. So in the movie, when she rejoins everybody after the explosion and everything, and she's all covered in smoke and debris and stuff like that, and everyone's looking at her, she be like, "Oh, you look like hell," and she's like, "I just came back from there."
Yeah,
did they say that in the play? Okay, good.
Yeah,
I was just like, they better say that, but I never heard them say.
I think the actress who played Veronica, because like that's the one line I have to say. Like she wanted to say it really badly. But I have a little note down here about when after they do curtain call, and I don't know, I love curtain calls, and so when you're recording, like for me, when you're, and I'm not saying that I've ever done this because I haven't. If you are gonna record a Broadway show, like get the curtain call, because the curtain call is sometimes one of the best things, because if it's somebody's last show, you can catch the whole speech and all that. But I like how
the guy with the camera, or the person with the camera, kept moving the thing.
Yeah, because I mean,
I hate it when they do that.
And you really couldn't see their faces. It was very blurry.
He has to be careful, because there are ushers who walk up and down the aisles while the production's going on. And they're watching, because I had ushered for A Midsummer Night's Dream, and I was in the theater while the play was going on, so I had to keep an eye open for like people who were trying to record it. So, and I was one of those. I'm one of those people that no matter what, even if you're not recording it, if you have your phone out, I will ask you to put it away. I don't care. But yeah, so and after that they start dancing, and like I kind of like that they did that, because it lets them have a little bit of fun, and dance a little bit with the audience and all that. But overall,
like at one point one of the Heathers was dancing with the Martha lady, and I was like, oh good, okay, so they do get along backstage. It's just an act. They're not mean to her. Good.
I think that's another reason why they do it, because I know we did it for Addams Family. After they did the curtain call, they sang the chorus part of when you're they sing the it's family first and family last, and then they start break dancing into the family song that you hear at the end of the new Addams Family movie. And I think that's to show that like everyone gets along. I would hope that everyone gets along. Because like with a show like this, I feel like, especially with a show like this, you need to have a cast that gets along, because if one person is mean to somebody, like for anyone, like for if somebody would have the guy who's playing like Ram, for example, if like you don't know what he's going through, and if you have a cast that member that's mean to him, like after playing an intense character like this, you don't know what's gonna set him off because like sometimes it's hard for people to get out of character. And so I feel like with intense shows like this that have to deal with topics like this, it's important to have a cast that gets along well and is able to support one another.
I
And then the
was
show will be great.
I was in a play where I played multiple characters, and there was one point where I played a bully, and there was a part where I mostly played
I can't see you playing a bully. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. You'd be a bad bully.
Originally, I was supposed to play the bully sidekick, but I was having trouble remembering the lines.
That
so
I
we
can
asked
see.
we asked our drama president, like, oh, can me and her switch parts and everything. The only thing they wanted me to do was like be more vocal. We can't fully hear you when you're trying to bully this one girl. We can't fully hear you, like, project and everything. That was the only note. But most of the time I played a geek. And at the end of the show, because it was dealing with like bullying and stuff like that, we play. What was the song we were playing? We're not gonna take it. Yeah. No, we ain't gonna take it. And we were having a whole bunch of fun. Everyone in the audience was like loving it.
Yeah, I feel like with stuff like that, it's important to let the audience know that everyone gets along. Like I'm trying to remember, like I'm trying to think if I can think of any examples, because I haven't been in a lot of productions. Nope, nothing comes to mind. But yeah, I think overall Heathers is kind of a hard show to see, and hard not only because of the topic and the fact that it deals with suicide and bullying and all that, but also because it's kind of slow at first. I mean, overall, if you get a chance to see it, go ahead see it because some of the songs are catchy. But I can't see myself paying like, I wouldn't pay anything over like maybe $35 to see this production. I wouldn't. I honestly, I wouldn't.
You have to be very interested in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have to be like completely invested and want to see someone being mean or something. But overall,
like I'm glad I finally watched it. I'm glad I finally watched it and everything. But it's not gonna be like one of my top favorite musicals.
Yeah.
I have to.
It's not gonna be something I'm gonna go watch again. I'm not gonna rewatch it like Beetlejuice or Addams Family. But yeah, so overall, I think the cast did great.
The cast did great.
The songs was great. I honestly would have maybe blocked. Okay, so I don't think if y'all don't know what blocking is, it's basically how the stage and the set is set up.
It looked like a small stage.
Yeah, it was, but honestly, I probably would have blocked it differently. Like I liked how they used the elevated, I guess, thing, the big thing award in the middle. I do like how they use that, like for like with the pool when she throws the pinata into the pool. I liked how they used it, but personally, I probably would have made that a little bit smaller. Maybe put it. Oh gosh, if I get this wrong, I'm gonna be very disappointed. If I would have put it upstage left or upstage right, maybe. Which if y'all don't know what that means like up in the far back corner, because when you're looking at a stage, it's opposite from the audience. So the part that's closest to the audience is downstage, and the part that's farthest is upstage. I don't know why. It's just like that. But I probably would have made it a little bit smaller and put it in the corner. Maybe would leave room for maybe like some lockers to show that they're in school. I don't know. That's just me. But I guess if you get a chance to see Heathers for a fair price, no more than like $25, go ahead and see it just to get it out of the way. But other than that, I don't really have much more to say without going on a rant. But I have noticed, like I mentioned this in the green room, we have been doing shows that deal with heavy, heavy topics. Like last time we did Dear Evan Hansen that had to do with suicide and I don't want to say mental illness, but mental illness or like anxiety and stuff. And then we did Rent that had to do with AIDS and death and all that. I'm like, we need to do something happy and perky. So hopefully we will, because I feel like we're going down a dark hole, and when we're gonna just keep going down until, yeah. But we're gonna do some fun shows now. We're gonna take a break from all the deep, dark, depressing ones, which means I have to realign my list, but whatever. So yeah,
This
I
is
have
it.
really, yeah, I really have nothing else to say about
We should
Heather's.
definitely do The Greatest Showman, even though it's a movie.
Can we count that as a Broadway Adidas show?
Michelle?
I mean, I would like to, but
honestly, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked if they put that on Broadway. So honestly,
okay,
that'd be a cool Broadway show.
that would count.
It's gonna be tricky. It will be tricky as hell to do.
Yeah.
They probably have to do something like they did with Lion King and use the animal kind of things for that, or actually get animals. Either that, or they can actually do a circus type of performance, where it's actually just the circus alone and not really tell the back. I feel like that's a show that's going to cost a lot of money to do because of all the spectacle and all of that. But hey, I guess it's Disney. Disney, if y'all need anybody who does to play,
is it Disney?
Yeah, I think so. I do aerial. I have been trained in aerial, so I can do all those little things that you saw Zac Efron and Zendaya doing.
Oh, you know how to do that stuff?
Yeah, I took a class on it last spring, and it was so much fun. And I'm kind of sad that I wasn't able to take the level 2 class because they canceled it. But it's really, really fun. I love it. And it got me in shape. I had muscles and I had a 6-pack for about 6 weeks, and then I lost it.
How do you think someone would do well with that if they have like a slight fear of heights?
Honestly, you could still possibly do it. One of my friends who was in the class with me,
like the Lion King.
Yeah, she's not really, well, they aren't really good with heights, but they took the class anyway, and they ended up really liking it. It's a good way to get you over your fear of heights. Like when you start a class, they'll put you on a knot, which is low to the ground. But my classes went online right after I started learning how to climb, so I was able to climb all the way up and do all the things.
Oh man!
Oh my gosh, I was so happy to be able to climb. But yeah, so
I almost had an opportunity to learn something like that at a state competition for one of the drama things and everything, but I don't remember why I didn't go to it. Or maybe I wasn't eligible at the time. I can't remember.
So I think I'm sorry, go ahead.
But I think I would be okay with it. I'm somewhat okay with heights as long as I feel like I'm not gonna fall. I'm not gonna injure myself.
So the thing with aerial is you have to always make sure that the silk wrapped around you somewhere. So like just never let go unless you're like wrapped in it. They teach you all of that, but I'm looking at like what shows were. Oh, also, so my school's musical is this week. If y'all want to check it out, it's called Hear Our Voices. It's go to winthropuniversity.com. Or go to Google and type in Winthrop University musical and be sure to check it out because I've seen the set and I helped make masks. But it looks like it's gonna be a very fun show, so be sure to check that out. I'm trying to think. Maybe I kind of want to do Waitress next instead of.
Yes.
I don't know.
It's just what's the song? Darn it! I love this song.
Okay. So here's my thing. Okay, so when we do Waitress, I have 2 versions of the production. I have one with Shoshana Bean and Jeremy Jordan, and then I have one with Sarah Bareilles, who actually wrote the music for Waitress. So we need to figure out which show we're gonna do because I can hopefully I want to leave like with Waitress and the Cher show and the Lion King. I want to leave a good amount of time so I can contact them and see like if any of them want to come on to the show. And these 2 already know I will die if I can get anybody from the Cher show, especially Stephanie J. Block on this show for that. I will literally cry. I would cry. I would die if Cher was on it, but that's not going to happen in a million years. Unless, Cher hooked me up, like DM me or whatnot. I don't know.
Maybe her managers.
I mean, I feel like if enough of us reach out to her, she's bound to answer. But I don't want to annoy her. But yeah, so I don't know what show we're gonna do next, but I have nothing else to say about Heather. So you guys,
Me neither.
not Stephanie, Michelle. So my mind is on Stephanie J. Block right now.
I thought it was a good musical, not one of my favorites, but it like Liz said, if it's a decent price, definitely go and see it.
Like, definitely don't pay over
Like
$30. No,
Yeah.
don't pay over $30 to go and see it, because I personally don't think it's worth. Why does it look like I have like red eyeshadow on? Are y'all
Your hair's
seeing that?
red.
No, like when I lift my eyes up, it looks like I have red eyeshadow. I'm sorry, but yeah, I would give it like maybe a 7 out of 10.
I give it like a 5.
Yeah, well, my rating's a 7 out of 10, but yeah. So unless y'all have anything else, we're gonna say our goodbyes and call it a night.
Nope.
All right, y'all.
That's
Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon. I don't know the whole spiel. I don't really do the spiel. Yeah,
follow,
like, subscribe. If y'all have a production or theater, a musical or a play you guys want us to do, leave it in the comments below. I'm literally on my YouTube channel like every day checking.
Even in the middle of the night? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, even in the middle of the night, I will go on my YouTube channel and I will respond. I will respond within the 2 days of you posting a comment. I will respond because I'm very good at that kind of stuff. But yeah, so if y'all have any show or theater production you want us to do, leave it in the comments below. That's really all.
Follow her Instagram.
Yep. Check out my Instagram at Lizney. And you can be sure to check these two out on their Instagram. I really didn't type up a description for this because I didn't really care because it was Heather's. But Mike, you need to start pulling your weight on this show.
Come on, Mike. Mike.
Yeah,
Orlando Mike.
The last one
to
he
be
was
fair,
on.
he's got a busy schedule at Universal. To be fair.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Okay.
He really wanted to be a part of Aladdin, but he didn't have the time to watch it. And also, Aladdin was sort of last minute, so he really didn't have time to watch it.
Yeah.
To be fair.
But yeah, we found out the last one he was in was Addams Family, and that was back in October. The end of October. Was it the end of? No, it was the second to the last of October. I don't know. But yeah, Mike, come on, man. We gotta make it so that you can join because you're one of the co-founders of this. So also, special shout out again to Christina because for her donation, she will be. It's because of her that these next like 5 episodes are paid for. So be sure to go check out my merch. Yeah, be sure to go check out the merch because the money that I get from that merch helps me pay for these productions. So we can watch them.
We got some good merch of us.
Yep. Also, just so I make sure I don't get sued, I am not selling these productions. These recordings I have are for my own personal enjoyment. I am not selling them. I'm not making a profit off of them. So just gonna throw that out there in case somebody tries to report me to the police or something. I am not selling them. So technically I'm not breaking the law. Because someone brought that to my attention. So yeah.
And you're just voicing our opinions about shows on here.
Yeah, no, well, see, that's not the point. The thing that would get me in trouble is that having the recordings can get me in trouble and actually distributing them. So correct me if I'm wrong, but the law says like if you bootleg a production and you sell it to make a profit, that's breaking the law. I'm not selling it. I'm not making a profit off of these productions. Nope. I merely have them for my own enjoyment, and it's just because I have them that I send them to my friends, and that's how we got the show on the road. But yeah, so yeah, I'm just gonna throw that out there. The only profits I make is from the donation that Christina gave me, and the profits I get from the merchandise I sell. So be sure to go check that out.
Has anyone bought anything?
I don't know. I have to go check.
Oh, okay.
And Kyle won't buy anything. He's like, I'm not buying any of your merch. Oh, you need to support me, man. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. You can find the link to my merch in my Instagram. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Stay safe. Oh, also, because whenever we deal with musicals with this kind of topic, I just love to throw it out there. If you're going through anything or anything like this, or like you're being picked on, you're being bullied, I have like 8 years of bullying experience. Okay, we are all here for you. If you want to reach out to one of us, don't be afraid to. Whatever you talk to us, whatever you DM us,
Leave our Instagrams down below.
it will stay between us. No one's gonna know unless you want it. Whatever you say is confidential. Just reach out to us, or if you don't want to, then reach out to a family member or somebody. You're not alone, okay? I don't want y'all feeling alone. Yeah, we all love you. I don't want people feeling alone.
Life
I
is
deal
with
worth
tough
living.
times right now with the pandemic and everything.
Especially like apparently the video that I posted that made Christina cry. Like I explained how these streams helped me a lot, especially when this all first started. But
It made me cry.
Yeah, that's why it's good to have people like this. That's why we do this, is so that we all can stay connected. So if you're going through anything like this, if you have suicidal thoughts, please, 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 I am begging you, reach out to us. I will do whatever I can to help you. We are here to support you. We are not here to tear you down. We want to help you in any way.
You should put the link for the number down.
I will. And I said I was going to do that last for the fear of enhancing, but I forgot. I will do that.
Definitely do it.
I will put the suicidal hotline down in the description below. I will put my Instagram. I'll put Michelle's and Christina's Instagram down below. If you feel any of, like, if you feel like this, if you're going through any of this, please reach out to us. Okay. We want to help you guys as much as we can. If you feel
and we have
alone,
other people that do the theater with us, so tonight's just the three of us.
Yeah. So especially with me, like all three of us have gone through bullying. I have had suicidal depression, I've had suicidal thoughts. I've gone through it, and I will be more than happy to help you. You can message me anytime. Like I will respond. Like I have my phone on sound. Like I will message you at like 3 a.m. If you text me at 3 a.m., I will respond. So please don't feel like you're alone. We love you guys. We are here to support you. We are here for you guys. So stay safe, stay connected, and I guess we'll see you guys on our next episode, which whether it be Ratatouille or Share or whatever, I don't know. We're gonna figure that out later.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out and we'll let y'all know. But we love you guys. Please stay safe. Reach out to us. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say. Anybody else?
Be careful with the snow in Texas.
I heard about that. I was like, wait, what? Snow in Texas? Okay, anyway, we're gonna go before we go off to another rant. We love you guys. Stay safe. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.
Good night.